everybody, and welcome to what I've just discovered is, I believe, the 60th instalment of ASMR drawing. And this is the first time I've done a video like this because I'm actually recording the voice before I've recorded the video. And this is because, well, my schedule is a bit all over the place. And basically I've got time where I'm home alone to record the audio now, and I can just record myself drawing later separately. What I also just thought was I should have probably recorded myself doing the talking, but maybe I'll do that next time when I've got a little bit more time. And I know I'm going to be drawing some of New York City, so I'm going to do what I've done in videos before, where I will look up information about New York City and some of the buildings that I know I have been drawing or will be drawing, and read their Wikipedia articles and go on a bit of a deep dive, basically. What also would have been good is if I figure out a way to record my screen so you can kind of see what I'm looking up to. That would be cool. I've just eaten a load of peanut M&Ms, so anyway, just double check it's recording. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to be recording. I know it's about New York City, so it's for the big commission that I've been working on for a long time. And I haven't uploaded a video about it for, well, the last one I did on this particular video, on this drawing was ASMR Drawing San Francisco, and that was in August, so September, October, November, 4 or 5 months ago. I've been working on the drawing since. As you can tell, I've made it all the way to New York. So, here we go. I think I'll probably be drawing some random buildings by now, but at some point I'm going to be drawing the bull. And I think the bull, charging bull, represents like Wall Street, or anyway, I'm on his Wikipedia page now. It looks like he's moved. I swear I have seen that bull in real life, and it definitely didn't look like it was there when I saw it. God, it weighs 7,000 pounds, 3,000 kilograms. How many kilograms do I weigh? A lot less than that, anyway. 1989. Made by Arturo de Modica, who he died 3 years ago, an Italian sculptor, widely known for his charging bull sculpture. English sculptor Henry Moore, Henry Moore, nicknamed de Modica the young Michelangelo after they met in Italy in the 1960s. That's cool, okay. So he made bronze statues. I'm gonna see him on this deep dive now. 54 Crosby Street, towards the end of the 1970s. Probably butchering the pronunciation. If anyone's Italian, I do apologise. De Modica bought 54 Crosby Street, a vacant lot not far from his first studio. After tearing down the original shack, he bought a new building using salvaged materials, completely to his own design and without planning permission. Among the materials he used were 7-meter beams of timber that he attached to himself and dragged back to Crosby Street through the streets at night, as well as 8,000 bricks that he bought for $400 from a priest. He would then go on to add 2 underground levels, again without the necessary planning permission, covertly removing the rubble under the cover of darkness. Crosby Street would become his creative centre where he lived, worked and hosted lively art parties and events. Excuse me. I'm going to Google 54 Crosby Street. Oh, it's come up with one near my house. Arturo di Modica. Images. It's like in New York somewhere. It's obviously been changed and pulled down now and altered and whatnot. He obviously did pretty well if he got it. Anyway, charging bull. The charging bull, sometimes referred to as the Bull of Wall Street or the Bowling Green Bull, is a bronze sculpture that stands on Broadway just north of Bowling Green. Pretty sure there's a Bowling Green. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? There's a Bowling Green. Pretty sure in Kentucky in the US. Yes, there is. And there's a band from there who I like, or at least I know about. But who is it? Bowling Green. It's kind of between Nashville and Louisville. Who is from there? Notable people. Cage the Elephant, that's it. It's the band Cage the Elephant. I don't actually know them or can't even say I like them that much, but they, for some reason, they moved to London 2 years after they formed. I'm not quite sure why. That seems like quite a... Especially because one of the members was 16 when they moved. That's kind of wild, but they did get famous, so... It's fair enough, but yeah, it still seems pretty wild. I think they're one of them bands that just sound more British than they do American, kind of like the Killers, because that's why they did so well over here. But who else? The Killers sound really British. Scissor Sisters did really well over here in the UK, rather than their native America. They didn't do that well over there. I think it's, I don't know, it sounds so British. The music's very sleazy and brilliant, obviously. Maybe the US wasn't ready for that back then. I don't know, that's not a slight against the US. If anything, it's a compliment. I'm saying that the UK is more grimy and sleazy. Anyway, back to the bull. Bowling Green, financial district of Manhattan in New York City. The £7,000 bronze sculpture, standing 11 feet, 3.4 metres tall, and measuring 16 feet long, depicts a bull, the symbol of financial optimism and prosperity. I would argue it symbolises something else, but Charging Bull is a popular tourist destination that draws thousands of people a day, symbolising Wall Street and the financial district. I would argue it more represents kind of the cutthroat, bully nature of that world, a world that I will never be a part of, I don't think. Unless I have an incredibly drastic change in career, but the kind of tough-headed, bully, laddie, finance crowd is quite strange to me. I know some people who are essentially not nice people who do very well in industries like that. Because I think you've kind of got to be pretty cutthroat and be a bit like a bull, maybe. I don't know. If there are any finance people out there, please feel free to comment and discuss with me. The sculpture was created by Italian artist Arturo di Modica in the wake of the 1987 Black Monday stock market crash. That's interesting that it was made in the wake of a crash. Late in the evening of Thursday, December 14th, 1989, Di Modica arrived on Wall Street with Charging Bull. Oh my god, so he did it kind of rogue. He wasn't even like commissioned. So it took him 2 years. Arrived on Wall Street with Charging Bull on the back of a truck and illegally dropped the sculpture outside the New York Stock Exchange building. After being removed by the New York City Police Department later that day, Charging Bull was installed at Bowling Green on 6 days later, December 20th, 1989. Despite initially having only a temporary permit to be located at Bowling Green, Charging Bull became a popular tourist attraction. The Modica may have been influenced by a pair of huge metallic sculptures, a charging bull and a bear, placed in front of the Frankfurt, Germany Stock Exchange in 1985 as part of the 400th celebration of the exchange. So, Black Monday in 1987. So the other one happened in what, 2008? Black Monday, also known as Black Tuesday in some parts of the world due to the time zone differences, was the global, severe and largely unexpected stock market crash on Monday, October 19th, 1987. Alright, so it took him like 2 years to build it, to build the statue. Worldwide losses were estimated at 1.71 trillion. Oh my gosh. Is a trillion 1,000 billion? A billion is 1,000 million. Is 1,000 million. Doesn't it? 1,000 million. So a trillion is 1,000 billion. 1 trillion is 1,000 billions. A million millions. With 12 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 trillion seconds is 32,000 years. Oh my gosh. There's that really good analogy of like, to work out how much money the richest people on earth have, like Musk and Bezos and things. 1 million seconds. 1 million seconds is 11 days, and 1 trillion seconds is 32,000 years, and 1 billion seconds is 31 years, which is mad when you think about it. The severity, I go back to the crash, the severity of the crash sparked fears of an extended economic instability or even a reprise of the Great Depression. Possible explanations for the initial fall in stock prices include a nervous fear that stocks were significantly overvalued and were certain to undergo a correction. Don't know what that means. Rapid change in the nominal price of a commodity. Oh, this is all getting a bit above my head. Or at least like, I'm not in the mood right now to learn about this. All I know is there was a huge crash. I didn't actually know this happened in the 80s until now. Is this one of them things where the taxpayer just bailed everyone out and everyone carried on like they did in 2008? Probably. Sorry, my throat. That was a bit of a grim, bullish sound. I'm going to Google the charging bull. I want to. Charging bull drop off. 1 AM. That's fire. That's pretty cool. He just dropped it off. God, how the hell did he make it? If it weighs like tons and tons and tons. That's pretty cool. He like did something that you just physically can't, you can't just pick it up and move it. You've really got to get a lorry in to come and get it. Climate protesters douse famous Wall Street bull. Interesting. I think I've got a picture of the bull somewhere. Anyway, following the success, actually I was going to look up the bull and bear in Frankfurt. Charging bull and bear. If you like keyboard sounds, then maybe this is the video for you. Frank. Okay. Oh, they're a bit smaller. Maybe more lifelike size. A lot less aggressive than I prefer the Wall Street bull. Following the success of the original sculpture, de Modica created a number of variations of the charging bull, which have been sold to private collectors. Charging Bull has been the subject of criticism from an anti-capitalist perspective, such as in the Occupy Wall Street protests of 2011, and has also been compared to the biblical golden calf worshipped by the Israelites shortly after their exodus from Egypt. Description. The £7,000 sculpture is in a cobblestone paved traffic median, which is I guess a central reservation by the looks of it, Broadway just north of Bowling Green. The sculpture is adjacent to 26 Broadway to the east and 25 Broadway to the west. It stands 11 feet tall and measures 16 feet long. Blah blah blah. We've done all this. The bronze colour and hard metallic texture of the sculpture surface emphasise the brute force of the creature. The work was designed and placed so that viewers could walk around it, which also suggests the creature's own movement is unrestricted, a point reinforced by the twisting posture of the bull's body, according to Durante. Whoever that is. Here we go, how he made it. How long have we been going? Okay, I was planning on doing about an hour, and then, recording the drawing for about an hour. I definitely won't be drawing the bull by now, but maybe we've learned something today. Just check my phone. Oh, I've got a message. Anyway, nothing important. The bull was cast by the Betty Mackey Art Foundry in Greenpoint in Brooklyn. De Modica spent spent $360,000. I assume he was famous by this point, surely. Spent $360,000 to create, cast, and install the sculpture following the '87 stock market crash. The sculpture was de Modica's idea. Having arrived penniless in the United States in 1970, de Modica felt indebted to the nation for welcoming him and enabling his career as a successful sculptor. I keep mixing those words up, I do apologise. Charging Bull was intended to inspire each person who came into contact with it to carry on fighting through the hard times after the '87 stock market crash. De Modica later recounted to art writer Anthony Hayden Guest, "My point was to show people that if you want to do something in a moment, things are very bad, but you can do it. You can do it by yourself. My point was that you must be strong." Okay, that's nice and all that, but it's not what I imagined the original and the message, the intention of the message was meant to be. So, I'm slightly disappointed. I thought it was a bit more of a, screw the, bankers and finance people messing up the stock market and being bailed out in their own greed, etc., etc. Not like, we'll be okay, here's a big ball. I'll read on anyway. Another artist, Domenico Ranieri, enlarged the model of the bull and worked with de Modica to bring out the fine points of the sculpture. In an act of guerrilla art, Betty Mackey Art Foundry and de Modica trucked it to Lower Manhattan late in the evening of December 14th, 1989. They installed it beneath a 60-foot Christmas tree in the middle of Broad Street in front of the New York Stock Exchange building as a Christmas gift to New Yorkers. That day, hundreds of onlookers stopped to see it as de Modica handed out copies of a flyer about his artwork. NYSE, New York, something. Officials called police later that day, and the NYPD seized the sculpture and placed it into an impound lot. The ensuing public outcry led to the NYC Department of Parks and Recreation to reinstall it 2 blocks south of the exchange, in Bowling Green, facing up Broadway just north of Whitehall Street. Charging Bull was rededicated at its new location with a ceremony on December 21st, 1989. The sculpture, okay, so this is about the ownership of it. The sculpture technically has a temporary permit allowing it to stand on city property since the city does not own the sculpture, but the temporary permission has lasted since '89 when city officials said the new location would not be permanent. Art on loan is usually limited to a year's display, and although the city does not buy art, it does accept donations. By 93, de Modica wanted to sell the statue to recover the $320,000 lost cost of manufacturing it. However, there was only one major bid for the statue. A hotel in Las Vegas offered $300,000. I'd take it. De Modica, take it. I think also the city didn't want to move it because it weighs £7,000, and that is no easy feat. A writer in the New York Daily News wrote in 98 that the statue's placement was beginning to look a mite permanent. He's not wrong. According to an article in Art Monthly, de Modica, as well as officials and New Yorkers, view it as a permanent feature of Lower Manhattan. In 2004, de Modica announced that Charging Bull was for sale, on the condition that the buyer did not move it from its location. The sculpture remained unsold by 2008. I'm not surprised. Should have sold it to the Vegas Hotel. De Modica continued to own the artistic copyright to the statue and filed several lawsuits against firms making replicas. For instance, de Modica sued Walmart and other companies in 2006 for selling replicas of the bull and using it in advertising campaigns. 3 years later, de Modica sued Random House for using a photo of the bull on the cover of a book discussing the collapse of the financial services firm Lehman Brothers. Oh, I don't know, I think that should be okay. Then it's talking about its evolution into a tourist attraction. One bit I'm going to read here that's quite funny. In addition to having their pictures taken at the front end of the bull, many tourists pose at the back of the bull near the large testicles for snapshots under an unmistakable symbol of its virility. According to a 2002 article in the Washington Post, people on the street say you've got to rub the nose, horns and testicle of the bull for good luck. Tour guide Wayne MacLeod would tell the group on the Baltimore bus, who would giddily oblige. 2004. The balls are definitely gleaming compared to the rest of it, so it does get rubbed quite a lot. A 2007 newspaper article agreed that the peculiar ritual of handling the shining orbs of the statue's scrotum seemed to have developed into a tradition. Okay, here we go. Charging Bull has often been a subject of criticism from an anti-capitalist perspective. The Occupy Wall Street protests used the bull as a symbolic figure around which to direct their critiques of corporate greed. A 2011 image from Adbusters portraying a dancer posed in an attitude position. I guess that's like... you can't see it, but a very classic looking ballet pose that's kind of immediately recognisable as ballet. Now Google it, you'll know what I mean. It was used to promote the forthcoming protests, Occupy Wall Street. The first gathering of Occupy took place around the sculpture on September 17th, 2011, before moving to Zuccotti Park. Because of the protests, the bull was surrounded by barricades and guarded by police until 2014. A lot about it being a religious, idol. It's had a lot of vandalism done to it. It seems like it'd be pretty easy to clean, you know. I'm not too bothered about it getting vandalised, to be honest. I kind of agree in an anti-capitalist sense. Popular culture. Oh, it featured in Mr. Robot, never seen that. Okay, that's cool. The other building I've been drawing, or have drawn, that you can probably see. I'm just going to go on Google Maps because can't quite remember what it's called, but it did seem like it might have a bit of an interesting history. And if you're familiar with New York, I think you're going to know it, or at least you'll know where it is. So, just on Google Maps. Well, Long Island is really huge, isn't it? It's like a whole other state unto itself. Crazy. Anyway, where are we? So, if you're looking at the map with north going upwards, it's at the bottom southeasterly corner of the Sherry-Netherland Hotel. That's it. It's at the southeasterly corner of Central Park. It's the Sherry-Netherland. You could probably see it now, I assume, or somewhere, but it's a big hotel next to the Apple store, and next to that other big hotel that was the main one in is it Home Alone 2, where he's in New York, and the one where he meets Trump and Trump gives him the directions to the lobby or something like that. Anyway, the Sherry-Netherland is a 38-story apartment hotel. What does that mean? Apartment hotel, is there a difference? An apartment hotel or a Apart hotel is a serviced apartment complex that uses a hotel-style booking system. Well, it's similar to renting an apartment, but with no fixed contracts, and occupants can check out whenever they wish. Oh, so basically it's like a hostel for rich people, I imagine. Located at 781 Fifth Avenue on the corner of East 59th Street in the Upper East Side neighborhood of Manhattan in New York City. It was designed by Schultz and Weaver. I assume they did a lot of them because it does look like a classic New York building. You don't see many buildings like this, In the UK, it looks very much like, having drawn a fair bit of New York now, not least for this drawing, it looks pretty typical, I'd say. The building is 560 feet high and was the tallest apartment hotel in New York City when it opened. The building is located in the Upper East Side Historic District, which was created in 1981. The building houses 165 apartments that were converted into co-ops in 1954. A housing cooperative or housing co-op is a legal entity which owns real estate consisting of one or more residential buildings. The entity is usually a cooperative or a corporation and constitutes a form of housing tenure. Typically, housing cooperatives are owned by shareholders. There are only 50 hotel rooms and suites, but in the tower above, the 24th floor, there are single apartments to a floor. Just get comfortable, sorry. There are single apartments to a floor. The neo-Romanesque, neo-Gothic roof line with gargoyles disguises the water tower. No way. Okay, I've got to see that. Netherland roof. I don't want to see inside the roof, I want to see the water tower. Where is it disguising it? Oh, it does look cool inside. Wow. You probably heard my phone buzzing then, sorry. Do you know what I've just had a real hankering for? A Lunchable. I tasted one in my mouth randomly and now I really want one. Maybe I'll get one later. I'm a grown adult who can get things. Is it halfway up or is it on the roof? Where are the gargoyles? I'm assuming they're in that roof bit. Wow, someone made it on Minecraft, that's pretty cool. Oh, he's giving me the willies looking at this. Anyway, because I'm scared of heights. Anyway, The site has been occupied since the early 1890s by the Hotel New Netherland. Ah, so looking at the Hotel New Netherland, that was like the bottom half of it, or the bottom section of it, without a tower on top. The Hotel Netherland was located. It contained the Sherry's restaurant from... Oh, I know, it got demolished. Okay, that makes sense, yeah, because there's like a turret on one side of it, and that definitely isn't there in the new building. I'm guessing the Sherry-Netherland, yeah, is named after the restaurant. Interesting, okay. It was designed by William Hume for William Waldolf Aster, a member of the prominent Aster family. I assume they're some kind of Roosevelt-esque big money family, I don't know. I've heard of it. The Aster family achieved prominence in business, society and politics in the United States and the UK in the 19th and 20th centuries. First, John Jacob Astor, one of the wealthiest people in history, my word, was a German-born American businessman, merchant, real estate mogul and investor. Astor made his fortune mainly in a fur trade monopoly, by exporting opium into China and by investing in new real estate in and around New York City. Okay, not great that he did it with opium, but... Oh, the Aster Hotel. Is that where I know it from? Are they still knocking about now? Oh my gosh, some of these names, yeah, they definitely are. Bet these don't have to go to work and grind on YouTube to make money. Octavia Willing Davidona Obolensky, born 1989. Let's see what she looks like. She looks like exactly what you imagine she's going to look like. Princess. Oh my god. Man, some of these people are just crazy. Oh, this person's born the same year as me. Alexander Vasily Sergeyevich Obolensky. What do you look like? And again, exactly what I imagine. That's not him. Oh, I don't know. Maybe there's not a picture of this guy. Anyway. Back to... demolition. Wait, hang on. Okay. So they demolished the old hotel. Oh dear. Caught fire when it was being built. The fire burned for 12 hours and flames were said to have been visible from Long Island. It ignited a debate in the press concerning the ability of the available technology to put out fires in high-rise buildings. So this is when, after the initial Hotel Netherland was demolished in 26. Right. In March 1927, construction was almost completed and the property was turned over to Louis Sherry, who was an American restaurateur, caterer, confectioner and hotelier going the Gilded Age in the early 20th century. His name is typically associated with an upscale brand of candy and ice cream, and also the Sherry-Netherland Hotel in New York City. Okay. Oh. In 1940, the famous stock trader Jesse Livermore committed suicide in the cloakroom of the hotel. In 1949, the hotel was sold to Floyd Odlum and Boyd Hatcher's Atlas Corporation, which is an investment firm. I thought there was going to be some more interesting things going on there. Why did Jesse Livermore do that? He's considered a pioneer of day trading. Was the basis for the main character of Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, a best-selling book by Edwin Lefebvre. At one time, Livermore was one of the richest people in the world. However, at the time of his suicide, he had liabilities greater than his assets. I assume he kind of fluffed it then, did he, with his money? Looks like he got bankrupt a few times. His favourite book was Extraordinary Popular Delusions and the Madness of Crowds. I've heard of this before. Oh, I think I'm going to sneeze. Okay, I managed to stifle it. Apparently you shouldn't do that. Oh, I'm yawning now. Everything's going on. Apparently you shouldn't stifle your sneezes. So I've heard. Oh, need some water after that. Sorry, I guess the audio for this video has been kind of boring if you're here to listen to what I've got to say, but maybe you're just falling asleep or enjoying the drawing, who knows. Extraordinary Popular Delusions and the Madness of Crowds is an early study of crowd psychology by popular journalist Charles Mackay, first published in 1841 under the title Memoirs of Extraordinary Popular Delusions. Sounds quite interesting, actually. Maybe I should add this to my watch. Witch Mania. Witch trials in the 16th and 17th century Western Europe are the primary focus of the Witch Mania section of the book, which asserts that this was a time when ill fortune was likely to be attributed to supernatural causes. Oh, sorry, a little cheeky burp there. I do apologise. Mackay notes that many of these cases were initiated as a way of settling scores among neighbours or associates, and that extremely low standards of evidence were applied to most of these trials. Mackay claims that thousands upon thousands of people were executed as witches over 2.5 centuries, with the largest numbers killed in Germany. That makes sense. The Mississippi Bubble. What's that? That's a chapter in it. Anyway, I'm going to look up that hotel. Let's get back on Google Maps. I'm on about the hotel of the one where what's it called was filmed? The Plaza. Okay. The Plaza, New York City. Plaza Hotel. Luxury hotel and condominium apartment in Midtown Manhattan, located on the western side of the Grand Army Plaza. Mansard roof. Oh, okay, yeah, I've heard of that. When it goes up and across. I think my dad was telling me about this before. Since its inception, this is the juicy gossip bit I want to get into with stuff like this. Since its inception, the Plaza Hotel has become an icon of New York City, with numerous wealthy and famous guests. The restaurant spaces and ballrooms have hosted events such as balls, benefits, weddings, and press conferences. The hotel's design, as well as its location near Central Park, has generally received acclaim. In addition, the Plaza Hotel has appeared in numerous books and films. The New York City Landmarks Preservation Commission designated the hotel's exterior and some of its interior spaces as city landmarks, and the building is also a National Historic Landmark. The hotel is also a member of the Historic Hotels of America. But that's quite an interesting list. Residents and guests. The first guest to sign its register was Alfred Gwyn Vanderbilt, who died in the sinking of the RMS Lusitania. So was it a war? Who knows? Oh, excuse me, a little yawn. So I just got distracted by the historic hotels of America. I'm going to go on a random one. The Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Wow, that is kind of middle of nowhere, this is. America's most haunted hotel. Oh my gosh. How cool. I clicked on this one. Ghost Doors, Crescent Hotel. Let's see the pictures of it. Is it creepy? It does look pretty creepy, to be fair. Let's see some ghosties. Don't think I'd fancy a ghost tour. I'd go and stay in it though. That looks flipping horrendous, that picture. Does look very grand. Maybe there'll be some YouTube videos, no doubt. Anyway, the Plaza Hotel. That's funny. Russian princess Vilma Lvov-Plagi, a prominent portrait painter in the early 20th century, lived in the suite on floor 3 with her lion. The hotel's appeal to the wealthy came from the fact that in the early 20th century, apartments at the plaza were generally cheaper than in more upscale apartment buildings, and that it faced Central Park, which at the time was well patronised by the wealthy. Later in the 20th century, the Plaza Hotel served as home to wealthy widows such as performer Kay Thompson, who wrote the Eloise children's book series about a young girl who lived in the hotel. Interesting. During the Great Depression, the wealthy widows were considered a tourist attraction in their own right, with their rents keeping the hotel solvent. The hotel's other residents included playwright Ferenc Molnar. The residents included executives. Okay, after many units were converted into condominium units in 2008, the Plaza Hotel became even more coveted by the wealthy. However, only about a third of these buyers were full-time residents, with the remainder using their Plaza condominiums as pied à terre, which means foot. Like pied is walking, terre is ground, is it? A small living unit. Small living unit, like an apartment or condominium, often located in a large city and not used as an individual's primary residence. Okay, that makes sense. Well, it doesn't make sense, you know, but I understand the concept. The residents included executives such as New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft. Do these people actually live in there then? JetBlue CEO David Barger, Bear Stearns CEO James Kane, Viacom CEO Thomas E. Dooley, Sony Music Entertainment CEO Doug Morris, and Idols franchise producer Simon Fuller. I recognise that name. Yeah, like Pop Idol. Tommy Hilfiger. I've never considered that he's like an actual person who exists. I've opened new tabs with all of these people to check. The guest rooms have also housed notable personalities such as opera singer Enrico Caruso, as well as novelist F. Scott Fitzgerald and Zelda. Makes sense. Frank Lloyd Wright often stayed at the Palmer Plaza when he was designing the Guggenheim Museum. God, these people are so rich. The Plaza. Okay, let's look at some of these people. Kay Thompson. Search Google. Just looking at pictures of Kay Thompson now. One of the wealthy widows. Okay. David Berger. Who was the CEO of JetBlue? David Barger, sorry, Barger, I don't know. Robert Kraft. I want to see the bit where he lives in. On March the 5th, 2022, an announcement was made by Tommy Hilfiger at the inaugural Something Gala that Kraft and his partner Dalla Blumberg had become engaged. Maybe they became friends because Kraft and Hilfiger both lived in the hotel. Maybe they were neighbours. Control F Plaza. I want to know. Oh, there's nothing about it. So he owns the New England Patriots, right? Okay. So I don't understand how you. Oh, I guess you just buy them when you're super rich, right? You don't like work your way up. That's kind of weird. See if there's anything about any of these people living in the plaza. Simon Fuller. See, I recognise this name because I'd always see his name knocking around when I did used to watch things like Pop Idol, etc. Simon Robert Fuller. British entrepreneur, artist manager and film and television producer. He's creator of the Idols TV format, including the UK series Pop Idol and the American series American Idol. Gosh, he had a good day when he came up with that, didn't he? Fuller came to prominence in the 90s. Oh, he managed the Spice Girls and has since managed acts. He managed David Beckham and Lewis Hamilton, Amy Winehouse and Annie Lennox. Jesus. So he's really kind of doing pretty well. Oh, and of course, since 2020, he's been working with tech firm TikTok to aid development of new TikTok creatives. Is this guy just like the richest person in the world? Oh, he persuaded ABBA to do the ABBA Voyage project. That sounded like an absolute swindle to me. You paid like £300 and you just saw holograms of ABBA. In my opinion, you should only spend like 20 quid to see holograms of them. That's kind of ridiculous, in my opinion. I would have been pretty pissed. One of the most 100 influential people in the world. Yeah, that makes sense. Been certified as the most successful British music manager of all time. Are you going to star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame? I mean, I can see what he looks like here. Yeah, this guy's like absolutely crackers. Rich. Doesn't look like the type though. Well, he signed Madonna's first hit Holiday to the... Okay, fair enough. Yeah, he did pretty well then, didn't he? When he was 21. He started his own company when he was 24. Wow. So, yeah. Well, he's like kind of shaped the entire music industry. No wonder he lived in the plaza for a bit. Right, Tommy Hilfiger. Well, he's getting on a bit. I thought he'd be a bit younger than that. He's 73. Obviously, you look up Tommy Hill. I guess Tommy Hilfiger's known for that, like blue, red, and white, like the block colours, isn't it? Just looking at it now. On the logo, obviously, of course, yeah, that little logo with the little stripe on it. Tommy Hilfiger himself. Don't want to know about the brand. Yeah, he looks the type. He looks the type to be a fashion designer, I guess. Just cracking my shoulders, I do apologise. He's the second of 9 children. Wow. Well, their parents were Catholics, okay, that makes sense. Claims he's descendant from Robert Burns. Don't know how much I believe that. Okay, anyway, back to the Plaza Hotel. Man, I'm terrible for going on these tangents. The Plaza Hotel became associated with celebrities and the wealthy upon its opening, surpassing the original Waldorf Astoria in that respect. The Palm Court, then the Tea Room, with its mostly female guest list, was particularly frequented. Weeks after the hotel's 1907 opening, actress Mrs. Patrick Campbell attempted to smoke there, and the resulting controversy boosted the plaza's stature. Who is that? She was a Shakespearean actor, a thespian. Beatrice Rose Stella Tanner, better known as Mrs. Patrick Campbell. Interesting. In January 1908, crowds flocked to see heiress Gladys Vanderbilt and her fiancé, Hungarian Count Laszlo Cishnetsky, have tea. Okay. While Theodora Schontz arrived with her fiancé, Emmanuel d'Albert de Lunes, the Duke of Chalmers. Jesus. That year, the New York World dubbed the hotel the home for the incurably opulent. By 1909, the Palm Court was considerably exceeding its 350-person capacity. God, nothing makes you feel more like a peasant than reading these Wikipedia articles like this. During the 1920s, the basement's grill room was a popular meeting place for young adults born during the Lost Generation. The Oak Room was frequented by actor George M. Cohan, and a commemorative plaque for Cohen was installed in the room in the 1940s after his death. What's this guy about? Just an old actor. Oh, I'm really hungry. I need to go and have my lunch after this. The Persian room was popular with the cafe society. Oh my gosh. For other world leaders, the Hotel Plaza kept a set of national flags so that an appropriate one could be displayed whenever a foreign head of state visited. Chiang Ching-kuo, who was a politician of the Republic of China at the time of the Vice Premier of the Republic of China, was shot by Taiwanese student Peter Huang in an attempted assassination at the hotel on April 24th, 1970. I think I've seen there's a famous picture of that. So, on April 20th for this guy, the assassination attempt, on April 24th, 1970, Huang and his brother-in-law, Cheng Zhu-sai, both members of the World United Formosans for Independence, were involved in the assassination attempt of then Vice Premier Chiang Ching-kuo in New York City. Huang approached Cheng with a gun at the Plaza Hotel, but a diplomatic security service special agent pushed him out the way, causing the bullet to strike the hotel's revolving doors. The World United Formosans for Independence later issued a statement disclaiming involvement. He pleaded guilty in a 71 trial. He was granted bail. It's wild. He did 5 years in prison. Huang viewed his assassination attempt as an act of opposition to the United States war in Vietnam and as an anti-imperialist action, as he deemed the Taiwanese government as an accomplice of Washington. Interesting. Pretty sure there's a famous picture of that, is there? Peter Huang. Assassination attempt. Oh, maybe not. There's another one. Is there another one where there's a famous assassination attempt? There's a picture of it. And he's got like a sword or something. Possibly. I think I'm drawing to a close here now. I think content-wise, depending on your taste, that might have been a bit boring. But if you were just here for the ASMR, then I hope it went okay. And I'm not sure where I'll be at this point in the drawing. But again, I hope that if you were here just for the drawing, then it did the trick. You got a good bit of ASMR. I'm going to carry on talking for 2 minutes because I want this video to be over an hour. Let's see, I kind of want to say like Plaza Hotel interesting stories. Journalists went wild when a murder occurred while constructing the current plaza in 1906. Dubbed the Mid-Air Murder, the event started as a union disagreement which led to watchman Peter Butler being hit over the head with a wrench and falling 3 floors. 22 fascinating facts about the Plaza Hotel. Okay. Right. When the plaza first opened, fact number 1. When the plaza first opened to the public in 1907, rooms ran from $250 a night, equivalent to about $60 a night today. That's still not bad. I mean, like, obviously it's not cheap, but it's not crazy. Number 2, the hotel that currently takes up the corner of 5th Avenue, 58th Street is not actually the original plaza. The original existed from 1890 to 1905, until it had to be completely destroyed in order to build a bigger structure. The current hotel stands 19 floors high, and the original 8-floor building could not be built upon. Right. In 1969, members of the National Organization for Women protested men's-only policies in the city at the hotel's Oak Room. Just a few months following the protest, the plaza did away with the men's-only luncheon. Good. These aren't as interesting as I thought they were going to be. Ooh. The famous portrait of Eloise that hangs in the hotel's palm court. I assume that's the K. Thompson. What was her name? I've got it already. It was K. Thompson. Well done, me. K. Thompson. An original portrait of Eloise that hangs in the hotel's palm court is actually a replacement for the original, which was stolen and has never been found. And on that note, I think it's time for me to finish this voiceover in the video and go and have some lunch, but I hope you've enjoyed this long video and back on to the large commission. Hopefully I'll see you soon, and I'll update with more videos when I'm drawing new areas of the US. But yeah, good.